In today's episode, I'm going to tell you about North Carolina's state berry, the strawberry. Welcome to the North Carolina Everything. I messed it up. I'm still on.
Am I making you nervous?
Well, I'm thinking about tasting NC.
Oh.
Welcome to the NC Everything podcast. I'm your host, Curtis, and this is a bi-weekly show where I talk about everything that has anything to do with North Carolina. In today's episode, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see this lady sitting beside me. I brought on my wife and co-host of Tasting NC to talk about strawberries. She's going to contribute where she can. If this is your first time listening, thank you for being here. And don't forget to check out some of my other episodes. Jamie will not be here for those other ones, but I hope she'll be here for some of the future ones.
I was on the Christmas episode this year.
Oh, I almost forgot to say hello, Jamie.
Hello.
Say hello again. See if it comes into the mic.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Mic's working just fine. As you will see, listening or watching this episode, my format is a little different with Jamie. It's a little more casual. It's more normal talking to a human than talking to myself. And I think I like the way me and Jamie record together. I hope you do too.
You don't talk to yourself often?
I don't.
You should try it.
Not anymore. Since I've become the boss at my job, I have to talk to actual people so much. I don't work alone anymore, so me and myself don't talk as much as we used to. This episode was suggested by Jamie, another reason why she's on the show. But before we get into content, if you are interested in Tasting NC, check the links below. There'll be a link to the Tasting NC YouTube channel down there. Also, if you're listening and you'd rather watch, there's a link to the NC Everything Podcast YouTube channel down there. And there's a link to the Facebook group where you can get more NC Everything. On the Facebook group, we try to post as much North Carolina content as possible.
It's mostly like festivals and happenings and
I do. If you listen to some of my early episodes, I tried this thing where I was running down local or upcoming festivals at the end of the show, and it turned out to be a hassle because there are a lot of North Carolina festivals. So I try to post as many of those as I can in the Facebook group. I think that's all of that. Oh, if you check the links below, my email address is down there. If you have an idea for an episode or just want to say hello, the email address is the nceverythingpodcast@gmail.com, but it's also in the description below. You ready to go? So my notes, I try to put them in some kind of order, but I'm just going to start running through them. One thing I did learn right out of the gate, and it's at the top of my notes, is the strawberry is a member of the rose family. Did you know that?
After I Googled strawberries yesterday.
I had no idea the strawberry is a member of the rose family. I don't know if there's any roses that you can eat. Do you?
You can eat roses. I don't know if you can actually physically eat the petals, but you can make rose water out of rose petals. So right. I would assume you could eat a rose.
Yeah,
I don't want to eat a rose because I think roses are...
Well, I wonder what the relation there is. I mean, the strawberry blooms look like rose petals. I don't think they do, but...
They're similar to certain, not like the tea roses that we know, but like more like a wild rose.
Yeah.
Or a rose of Sharon, maybe. But I don't even know if a rose of Sharon is a rosaceae.
I didn't think about investigating it further when I made the note, but I am curious what
I will be Googling it.
Yeah,
Googling it later.
Yeah, I wonder what the familial link is there.
We Google random stuff.
Strawberries are indigenous to both northern and southern hemispheres, and the best I can gather reading is they're pretty much found all over the world. Probably not the Arctic or Antarctic, but strawberries are found just about all around the world.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their hardiness zone is.
So I started out with the word strawberry. The word strawberry itself, they don't really know the true origins of it. So here's some theories. Straw was commonly used as mulch to plant plants during the winter. Straw was still used as mulch to plant plants during the winter. And so since the berries would grow up through the straw, that's a possible name for strawberries.
Yeah, because I know in our zone, strawberries, the plant will survive the winter. Now, it won't flower during the winter, but and if it frosts, it'll kill the flower once it starts blooming. But my plants are green throughout the winter.
Well, another possible origin, it says specifically in London, not just England, but in London, kids used to take the berries and they would poke straw through the berry and make like what they call straws of berries. So I guess like a
Do they like make a necklace out of it, or like
no, like a skewer, kebab.
Yeah.
They'd make a straw kebab out of strawberries, is what I understand, and they would call this thing straws of berries.
Did they eat the strawberry off the?
Yeah, I guess at that point you eat
kebab?
it, or you bang people in the head with it, or whatever you want. Whatever you want to do with your straws of berry, that's your own business. Yeah. Another thing is the runners, and I know this now because we plant strawberries, but the strawberries are runners, and it says, people used to say the strawberry can be strewn around. I think that's a very weak argument. But there's 3 possible origins for the name strawberry. In literature, why did I make that note? Oh, a 4th. In some literature, the fruit is called a strewberry. I guess because it can be strewn around. All right. Well, moving on to through the name part of it. In Latin, the fruit is referred to as fragra or fragrant. It says a guy named Charles Linnaeus. Do you read about him?
Is he the one that found it in Chile?
Yes. Charles Linnaeus, he formalized what they call the binomial nomenclature of the name. Yep. Yeah.
Like Frugaria Chileanus or whatever whatever it was.
He's pretty much the one that gave it its Latin name.
And I'm sure I butchered the Latin because I took French, not Latin. So
in French, Italian, and Spanish, the fruit is referred to as fraise, which means fragrant or fragrant berry.
I knew fraise.
And I'm going to butcher this. Not the first part. I'll butcher both parts, but I'm going to butcher the second part. The Narragansett Indians of North America called the fruit Whatahimanish. That sounds like a question. It translates to heartberry.
I have gotten some that look like hearts.
Whatahimanish. You know what? I'm going to say it 3 times. I'm going to type it on the screen, so look for it. I'm not going to. What do you think? Whatahimanish?
Yeah. We need Matt here for the Latin or the scientific names, and Tracy or Matt here for the native names.
All right. I got here where I was going to go through the history of it, but then I got medicinal kind of right in the middle of it. So let me do the medicinal. Well, no.
Did your notes get out of whack?
No, I know why I did it. Strawberries were first referred to in history between 234 and 149 BC. They were written about by Cato, who was a Roman senator. The first descriptions of strawberries are mostly talking about its medicinal use. Now, in my notes, I put medicinal use with a big question mark.
It has more vitamin C than oranges.
More vitamin C than oranges. Anything else? I want to see how much you know as I go. But
I don't know. I didn't. I just Googled like 2 seconds before you started this.
I've said this before on the show. A lot of times I try to portray myself as like I know this stuff, but a lot of times I'm taking what I'm reading and giving it to you, but I'm learning as I go. Medicinal use. Immune system. Strawberries are a rich source of vitamin C and antioxidants, which helps boost the immune system. It can also help fight allergies and asthma. The asthma part kind of threw me a loop. That was surprising.
It must have some kind of antioxidant in it. It's good, like, for your lungs.
For heart health, it contains antioxidants.
Lycopene, maybe?
I didn't come across lycopene. Now I'm curious about that.
Lycopene makes tomatoes red, and lycopene is what makes tomatoes good for your heart.
For the heart health, in addition to antioxidants, phytochemicals, which I'm not sure what that is. Do you?
It's just like compounds in there that help fight free radicals that are in your body, and it helps make you, like, free radicals cause inflammation in your body, and so the phytochemicals kind of help absorb the free radicals and reduce inflammation. Okay. Don't hold me to that, but
yeah, we are not doctors.
Well, I had a nutrition class, but I don't remember,
That's what WebMD's for.
That
Don't trust those.
is exactly the way it goes, but
Let's see. It can help reduce inflammation, promote healthy blood vessels,
There
and
you
lower
go.
LDL cholesterol levels. But like I said, don't use the NC Everything podcast for your health needs.
no.
They contain potassium, which can regulate electrolytes and lower the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Now, back on the timeline, just to recap, it said they were first written about between 234 and 149 BC. Back on the timeline, the strawberries was first described in literature as early as 1000 AD. The first sketch of a strawberry plant was printed in 1484. See, there have always been, this section is my in Europe section. There's always been varieties of strawberries in Europe, in particular in Europe, 3 varieties: Fragaria vesca, Fragaria moschata, or scata, I don't know, and Fragaria viridis. And I probably have typed those on the screen too. They're all known as wild or woodland strawberries. Archaeological evidence showed that people, even back in the Neolithic period, were eating strawberries. In ancient Rome, strawberries were consumed during festivals celebrating in honor of Adonis. And this is where I thought about getting the title of this episode. The mortal lover, Adonis was a mortal lover of the goddess Aphrodite. All right? According to myth, strawberries grew when Aphrodite's tears mixed with the blood of the dead Adonis and dropped to the dirt. And some may call this episode Aphrodite's Tears. I don't know.
That's a good name.
I thought it was poetic. What?
I was just thinking about my donut name.
Oh, what was the name of the donut? Jamie invented a donut. Take a sidebar from strawberries. And
I haven't made it yet, but it's just a concoction I thought about in my head.
Just say the name of it.
I can't. It's too funny because it's so stupid. Wake me up before you dodo.
And I'll probably put that on the screen too. Maybe in the description we'll put your idea for the dodo. Well, I don't know. I don't really steal it from you.
I don't care.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna make a homemade. Well, I might make a homemade donut, but
back to strawberries. During the medieval times, strawberries were used on the picture of the strawberries were used on religious manuscripts. And it says the red fruit pointing downward represented the drops of Christ's blood. The 5 petals of the white flower were symbols of his 5 wounds. And the royals during, I guess, medieval, Henry VIII, they love strawberries. Henry VIII, somewhere in here, I'm probably going to come across it again. Yeah. Henry VIII actually used strawberry to treat his famous ulcer. And I don't know if you know about.
I don't know. Is he the one that killed all his wives?
Yeah. 3 of them. I think it was 3.
Did he kill him because he had an ulcer?
No.
He was crazy from pain or bleeding?
I think at least one of them, and I'm not a British historian, at least one of them, he wanted a male heir, and she gave him not a male heir.
Yeah.
A daughter, I guess. And so out with her. And anyway, that's on the next page. But yeah, he had a very famous ulcer. Actually read a few days ago, completely unrelated, that at its worst, they could smell his ulcer from 3 rooms away, which is awful, disgusting. But
what kind of ulcer was it?
I'm not sure, but it was on his knee.
Oh, okay.
There's paintings of it.
I forgot about skin ulcers.
Yeah, I lost my place. Anyway, the royals, they loved strawberries, including Henry VIII. Charles V of France, from 1364 to 1380, grew 1,200 strawberry plants in his royal garden.
I guess they could preserve them through jelly.
In North America, why do I keep struggling with that? The Fragaria Virginia.
The Virginia strawberry.
The Fragaria Virginiana. Yep. Several varieties of strawberries grow across North America. Many indigenous tribes across the region consider the strawberry to be a sacred fruit. According to the Cherokee, the strawberry was used by the Creator to unite the first man and the first woman. According to white man, we had an apple. Well, no, that didn't unite them. That actually messed up their marriage, I guess. Isn't it funny though how
were they married? Because if they were the first man and woman on Earth, who was there to marry them?
That's true. Anyway, Adam and Eve was an apple. To the Cherokee, a strawberry was used to unite the first man and first woman. The Oneida. Oh, I got confused. Where was the Oneida? I know that.
I don't know.
The Oneida used the strawberry for medicinal uses.
Were they like Michigan?
I think they were up near Canada. That
Yeah.
sounded right. They used the strawberry for medicinal purposes. More specifically, they used strawberry water.
I was just fixing to wonder if you could make a strawberry tincture.
For a lot of North American indigenous tribes, June is celebrated as the strawberry moon. It marks when strawberries begin to ripen.
They ripen around here in May.
Yeah, well, Fragaria virginiana was in my notes. It has quote unquote discovered by both French and English when their empires invaded. The French colonizers claimed the strawberry first, and that was up, obviously toward Canada. In 1534, Jacques Cartier, whatever. I got Cartier right, didn't I?
Jacques Cartier? Yeah.
So Jacques Cartier, the first European to travel inland America, he saw what he described as vast patches of strawberries growing all along the St. Lawrence River.
That's Quebec area. Yep. Well, I'm sure the St. Lawrence goes farther than Quebec, but
Jamie's been to Canada. I have not.
I've stayed right on the St. Lawrence River.
I'm pretty sure you've seen the St. Lawrence River. And thanks to Jacques Cartier, records say that North American strawberries began to pop up in France as early as the 1600s. For the English, this brings it kind of closer to home. As far as, I said the French and the English both discovered them. The English records mention strawberries at Roanoke, North Carolina, and Jamestown, Virginia. In Latin America, and I had a note on this, but I lost it, but there was also strawberries down in Latin America. And so you had the French, you had the English, and over here you had the Spaniards. I lost my notes somewhere in here, but it says that the strawberries from Latin America were actually taken back to Europe and hybridized. And at least for a time, that hybridized version was the most popular strawberry.
It was because the European varieties of strawberries were smaller than the Chilean
Did you read that recently?
I did.
Yeah, because I read that too. It may be in my notes.
It was the Virginia strawberry and the Chilean strawberry were brought back to France, and they were hybridized with.
Yes,
they were crossed with the European strawberries because the European strawberries were smaller, and I think one of them was not as hardy, as far as I guess it rotted more quickly.
Yeah.
Or it didn't keep as well as one variety, and so they hybridized them to kind of create the best of both worlds. So I think maybe it was one of the North American varieties that maybe weren't as hardy, and it was the European varieties that were small. And when they crossed, they got kind of like the hybrid, a better storing strawberry and a bigger.
Well, I'm glad you remember that because I made a note here based on my memory of reading it, but I couldn't find it in my notes. All right, so since we spoke about North Carolina, we'll bring it on home to North Carolina. In 2001, the General Assembly of North Carolina named the strawberry as the official red berry of North Carolina and named the blueberry as the official blueberry of North Carolina. Now, if you go back and listen to my state symbols episode, I did mention the official blueberry and the official red berry or berry. Is it berry?
Strawberries aren't technically a berry, and I don't know if that's anywhere in your...
Well, I didn't catch that, but yeah, the strawberry is the official berry of North Carolina, and the blueberry is official, specifically blueberry.
I can't remember what a strawberry technically is considered, but it's not considered a berry. It's not technically a berry.
And if you're curious, that same law declared that the Scuppernong grape was North Carolina state fruit.
I can't figure out why.
What I didn't know when I done my state symbols, and not until I researched for this, was the story behind those three things taking place. And I thought it was a really cool story. It starts in February of 2001. A class of fourth graders from Tommy's Road Elementary School in Wayne County petitioned.
That's Goldsboro, isn't it?
I don't know. It said Wayne County.
Or that's where Goldsboro is, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, Wayne County, they petitioned for the strawberry to become the official state fruit, not the state berry. Well, their proposal got sponsored by Republican, sponsored by Representative Carolyn Russell. I guess that's Representative.
Yes.
I said Republican. I'm going to edit that out.
She might be a Republican, but...
Their proposal was sponsored by Representative Carol Russell. And then the House of Representatives, they got involved. They became interested, so they were also backing this proposal. However, in September of that same year, 2001, 4th and 5th graders from Manio Elementary School in Dare County, they made a proposal to make the scuppernong grape the state fruit. And this was backed by Senator Fountain Odom of Mecklenburg. So now you have this elementary school competition about the state fruit. Strawberry, scuppernong grape.
The strawberry should have won.
Well, at this point, the possibility of a state berry isn't even on the table. They're looking for a state fruit. In October, the Senate proposed a compromise. The scuppernong grape could be the state fruit, and the blueberry and strawberry be the state berries.
But they're all fruit.
Now, I remember this, but I took it out of my notes. The legislature came up with this compromise. Well, they sent it to the elementary school kids to get their opinion in Wayne County, not Dare County. And the Wayne County kids, they thumbed their nose at it. They said, take it back, you shove it. However, ultimately, on December 16th, the bill was signed into law. And so, like I said, the strawberry is our state berry, the blueberry is our state blueberry, and the scuppernong grape is our state fruit.
Yeah, but are there any other kind of blue berries?
No, and I think I made a joke about that when I did a state symbols, that there's not any other blueberries.
Because a blackberry is purple and a raspberry is red or gold or black.
As far as some strawberry facts, in 2016, there wasn't a date past that, but in 2016, North Carolina planted 1,300 acres of strawberries valued at about $27 million. Now,
1,500 acres just doesn't seem like a lot of acreage.
Me and you were slightly talking about this before we started recording, but according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, North Carolina produces the third most strawberries in the country behind Florida and California.
See, I read my son's, their school lunch menu comes with like a little factoid or a little tidbit on the bottom every month, and I have never read it, but for some reason last month I just happened to read it, and it said North Carolina was number 4 in the nation.
Yeah, and that,
so
if I'm not mistaken,
we're 3 or 4.
If I'm not mistaken, when you read me that's where you first got the idea of covering it on the show.
Yeah, I did. I was like, hey, strawberry season's coming up.
Did you remember what the 4th was? Did you ever look that up?
I didn't.
Because it does mention another state somewhere here in a minute. Just hang in there. Yeah, there it is. So, according to the Department of Agriculture, we are 3rd in the country.
North Carolina is about bountiful.
There's a ton of varieties of strawberries, but the 3 commonly grown in North Carolina, and I don't know what kind we picked the other day. I know she was talking about it.
She mentioned Chandler.
Camarosa, Chandler, and Sweet Charlie.
That might have been Sweet Charlie and Chandler. Possibly. I know Chandler for a fact. In
preparation for this show, we went strawberry picking. Hang on, I'll talk about that in a minute. It says one thing that makes North Carolina stand out from all the other, and this is where the 4th state may come up. One thing that makes North Carolina stand out from all the other states that grow strawberries is how we get them and how we use them. So here in North Carolina, we do a lot of pick your own strawberries. You go to markets and you buy fresh strawberries, or you can go to a field like we did and pick your own strawberries.
Can I say something?
Yes.
They are a whole lot better tasting if you pick them yourself. We went to 3 different farms that had, well, not technically the farm. We were at a farm that had pre-picked, or 2 farms that had pre-picked, and I won't mention them because I like both places and I don't want to knock their strawberries. And then we picked up a pre-picked basket at the farmer's market a few weeks ago, and none of them tasted as good as that strawberry out of that field.
Do you want to name the farm that we picked at?
Yeah, we picked at McAdams Farm.
McAdams Farm. A lot of you listen to podcasts know I'm in the Orange County area, and North Orange County. That's not in Caswell yet, is it?
McAdams?
Yeah, that's
it's in Efland.
Yeah, that's right.
Duh.
It seems like a long ride out there.
Not really.
Yeah, it seemed like it to me. So McAdams Farm is Orange County.
But I've been picking there a lot longer than you have.
Yeah, that's usually where Jamie drags me out to. And if you want to know why I mean by that, listen to the tasting and see bit at the end of this episode. I just bumped my microphone. Yeah. So like I said, North Carolina, we normally pick fresh strawberries or go to the market. You can buy baskets, bundles of fresh strawberries. The other two states,
which the pre-picked strawberries that you get at a farm are still going to be better than the strawberries that you get at the grocery store. Don't get me wrong. It's just there's nothing to me like picking a fresh berry out of the field and eating them.
And see, when we were picking strawberries all day out of the field, I had commented that this is not something I consider fun, enjoyable, recreational. You know, I don't mind fresh strawberries. Let me go grab some from the store.
They're not fresh in the store.
But here in North Carolina, you know, the aspect of picking your own strawberries to me is it's 95 degrees outside. It's humid. I just got off work. Who wants to go stand out in the field?
Yeah, I think we picked the hottest day of the season to go.
How about going stand out in the field and pick strawberries? So the other two states, Florida and California, they typically grow strawberries just for shipping. For the majority of it, you're not going to, in those two states, you're not going to go get fresh strawberries. I
thought strawberries continued to ripen after you pick them, but the lady at the farm the other day said that once you pick them, they're as sweet as they're going to get. I mean, they'll start deteriorating and going bad, but they won't ever get, I guess, like a watermelon. They don't ripen once you pick them.
Huh.
What's the fourth state? I'm curious.
Speaking of the fourth state, Jamie mentioned it's actually an oddball to me.
Washington State?
If you think North Carolina, Florida, well, I guess it's not that odd. California's over here. Oregon.
I was close. I said Washington.
Yep. Oregon, where I said Florida and California normally grow strawberries just for shipping to other parts of the country. It looks shady on that camera.
Well, because the sun's on me. And
Oregon usually grows strawberries simply for processing. At that point, I'm sure
jams and jellies.
Yeah. At that point, I'm sure they do ship it around the country. But Florida and California are shipping bundles of whole strawberries. Oregon is mostly processing them.
Interesting.
So that may be the fourth that, they hinted at on the cereal box, whatever it was.
Lunch box. Listen to me. The lunch menu.
Lunch menu. Now I want to tell you about Chadbourne, North Carolina. I'm going to tell you about two towns, but Chadbourne, North Carolina, I come across this story and I wanted to include it. Chadbourne is considered the strawberry capital of the world.
We've been through there.
It's north of Knightdale. I don't remember going through Chadbourne, but I don't remember half the places I go. But it says it's north of Knightdale or halfway between Knightdale and Youngsville. It's the host of the longest running agricultural festival in North Carolina, and it continues to this day. The festival has been a major part of the town's history, which started in 1926. The festival started in 1926, not the town. So the story is, in the late 1800s, most of the timber around Chadbourne was cut. So after they cut the timber, what happens? It left all these vast open fields. So now they cut the timber, they didn't have any way to make any money. There wasn't no more trees. So they started selling property for $10 an acre down in Chadbourne. So once they put the land up for sale for $10 an acre, people in droves started coming out there to buy this really cheap land. And I don't know who sparked the idea, but these people buying cheap land started strawberry farms. Well, within 10 years, thousands of barrels of strawberries were coming out of Columbus County. In 1907, Chadbourne set a world record for a one-day strawberry shipment. Between sunrise and sunset, over 15,000 workers harvested 1.1 million quarts of strawberries.
Wow.
This brought national attention to Chadbourne, and the first strawberry festival was in May 1926. Sadly, strawberry production fell dramatically because of tobacco.
Speaking of May, I read that May 20th is like National Pick Strawberry Day or something.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm glad that's gone.
We missed it by one day. We went on the 21st.
Yeah. But tobacco killed the strawberry plant. It didn't kill strawberry. It killed strawberry production just because you can make more money off tobacco. So they quit growing strawberries and started growing tobacco.
Should have stuck with strawberries.
However, each spring, people still go down to Columbus County and have the big strawberry festival.
We should go next year.
Wallace, North Carolina. You said we've been through Wallace.
I thought we've been through Chadbourne.
You said we've been through Chadbourne. I remember seeing the signs for Wallace on the interstate. I don't know that I've been through Wallace.
Is it in the mountains?
No, it's down east.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I see the signs for Wallace on the way to the beach.
You have to give me kind of an idea of where it is, and then
Strawberries are first introduced to Wallace in 1880, and it said the soil is in Duplin County.
oh yeah, I'm sure we've been through there then.
It said the soil in Duplin County was just perfect for growing strawberries. And so people started growing strawberries, and so many strawberries started growing that strawberry buyers started being sent to Wallace, North Carolina in 1927. Ultimately, so many strawberries being grown in Wallace that Wallace was named at one time the world's largest strawberry exchange. And now they have a huge Carolina Strawberry Festival down in Wallace. The first Strawberry Festival in Wallace was held in 1935 during the Great Depression. They were trying to pretty much raise money during the Depression, so they decided to have this Strawberry Festival.
It's not that far from Clinton, and actually it's just south of Rose Hill. So I don't know that we've ever been through it, because it's not, like, do you remember going through Harold's? I think that's where they had the pig hollering contest.
Yeah.
If you turn at that intersection at Harold's and go east, it looks like Wallace isn't that far from.
Okay.
See, there's Harold's, and then there's Wallace, and there's Rose Hill where Duplin Winery is.
Yeah. So the Strawberry Festival in Wallace starts in 1935, and if you want an idea how quickly this thing blew up, 2 years later in 1937, their guest was Eleanor Roosevelt. It was shut down during World War II, but then picked up again after the war was over. It was stopped again in 1961, and after it shut down in 1961, it didn't come back again for 50 years. But now it is back, and it's an annual event down there. Now, that's pretty much the end of the show. I started in my notes to make a list of strawberry festivals around North Carolina. I got about 20 or 30 in, and I decided it was too much. I'm not going to list all those. But I was really happy when I was making the list, because the very first one, and I didn't Google it specifically, but the very first one on the list was the Strawberry Jam at Darnell Farms in Bryson City, which I love Darnell Farms. I love Bryson City, and I think I just talked about Bryson City recently. It is a beautiful, beautiful place, and Darnell Farms is probably one of the most beautiful farms I've ever been on. So I was really delighted to see that their Strawberry Festival, which I've not been to, was at the top of the list.
California produces 80% of the strawberries in the United States.
Have you checked out of this podcast?
No. I was just giving you some more information.
I thought you put the thing on airplane mode.
It is on airplane mode. Or it was. It's on silent right now.
All right.
I'm just going to give you.
Yeah, California, Florida, and North Carolina. And possibly Oregon is number 4.
I got something that might blow your mind.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
You want to guess how many pounds of strawberries, or how many strawberries Americans eat per year?
850 million pounds.
Like per person, not collectively. Sorry.
I said what I said. Per person, 17 pounds per person.
Not quite that much.
I have no idea.
8 pounds.
8 pounds? So I was just double.
Yeah.
I do not eat 8 pounds of strawberries a year.
I probably do.
I love strawberries. There's no way I eat 8 pounds of strawberries per year.
Probably because I eat your share. I was trying to see if it said what strawberries technically are. I found something the other day and it was an interesting, a receptacle, I think is what they were called.
What? Strawberries are called receptacles?
Mm-hmm. Instead of a berry.
Oh, because you said it wasn't an actual berry.
Yeah, it's not a true berry. But yeah. We didn't talk about the strawberry shortcake. That's okay.
What about it?
The origin.
Did you have the ordinance?
I had a little bit of history.
I still got to talk about tasting and see.
Huh?
I still got to let them know that tasting and see
Yeah.
is.
You could do a little teaser.
Well, I mean, I'm going to add it to the show.
I'm just saying, like, at the end of your show, you could tease into, like, we're going to be tasting strawberry shortcake or something. You can edit.
Yeah, that's something I want to. Is there anything else you want to add? All right, well, that's this episode on strawberries. Now, since I have the co-host of Tasting and See with me, we're going to go ahead and add on to this show Tasting and See Strawberry Edition. So if you're not ready to be done with the NC Everything podcast, you're not ready to be done looking or hearing about strawberries, stick around. I'll go to a black screen or something, and we'll open up in the kitchen and we'll taste some strawberry stuff. Jamie has made a few things for us.
Actually, we've already tasted it.
Well, you got to ruin it. You got to ruin the magic. I'm going to edit that out. Anyway, Jamie did make some stuff, and we spent a few minutes tasting and talking about strawberry foods. Do you have anything to add with that?
Well, I made strawberry shortcake, and Curtis asked me yesterday when we were discussing this if I knew the history or the origins of strawberry shortcake, and I did not. So when I Googled it, apparently the recipe for strawberry shortcake first appeared in the United States in the early 1800s or 1847, I think it was, by a woman named Eliza Leslie, I think her name was. And the recipe was kind of funny because it was like add 4 pints of flour or, a half a pound of butter. It didn't give our traditional measurements. And then you kind of like had to knead the dough until it quit your hands. And that meant that it didn't stick to your hand.
Oh.
Because you've never worked with dough, but if you work with biscuit dough or any kind of dough that you need to knead, when you first start messing with it, it'll stick to your hands. But the more that you work with it, it'll stop being so tacky and it'll quit your hands.
Oh.
It'll quit, like, you can rub it off your hands really easily. And so that's what you did, is you kneaded it until it quit your hands, and then you cut it in circles, and it I guess it was kind of like a cakey biscuit puff pie crust or something, because it was interesting. I didn't make that recipe, but I will at some point because it sounded interesting. I made a biscuit shortcake with cornmeal and flour, but the origins of the cornmeal shortcake, it's thought to come from Native Americans who made a strawberry cake by mashing strawberries with cornmeal, and that's where they thought that some of the origins of the strawberry shortcake in America came from.
Huh.
It didn't say a tribe or whatever, but
Rather might read up a little bit more on that.
Yeah, that was just a cursory.
Well, that's this episode. Don't forget to check the links below for more NC Everything content, and stick around if you want to check out our tasting NC. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the kitchen. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, now that we got the podcasting part out of the way, we're going to eat some strawberry stuff. So what do we got here, Jamie?
We've got chocolate covered strawberries. We've got strawberry spinach salad with coconut lime vinaigrette made out of the oil and vinegar from the olive shop. And then I couldn't find the vinaigrette with the balsamic and oil I had mixed up. So this one is just caramelized onion, balsamic vinegar drizzled over the salad. We have strawberry shortcake. We have a no-bake cheesecake with a homemade strawberry glaze topping. Then we have a strawberry pudding where I substituted strawberries instead of bananas. And then I have a fruit dip made out of Greek yogurt and Jell-O pudding mix.
All right, and who made all this good food?
Me.
I forgot to get something to drink.
Your glass you were using the other day is sitting right there.
Well, if you want to talk about how long it took you to make all that food while I'm getting my water.
Well, none of it really took a whole lot of time. I made the strawberries, chocolate covered strawberries this afternoon when I got home from work. It took me maybe 10 minutes. The chocolate is just equal parts melted butter and chocolate chips. So half a cup of butter melted, half a cup of chocolate chips. Stir it together until it's the chocolate chips are melted. And then you dip your strawberries, and I stuck them in the freezer, or not the freezer, but the refrigerator. There's a fly in here. Until they hardened up. I made my homemade pudding for the strawberry pudding. It takes 20 minutes. It's just cornstarch, egg yolks, milk, and vanilla and sugar. Strawberry shortcake, not very long. It's just sugar and strawberries and homemade whipped cream. And the glaze, 20 minutes tops.
Yeah, and you can see me sweeping away flies. It's summertime in the South.
And we live in a house that only has a window unit for an air conditioning.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and the cheesecake, it's a no-bake cheesecake, which I don't typically make. I typically do a baked cheesecake, but for time purposes and ease, it's a can of sweetened condensed milk and 2 packages of cream cheese and I think a third a cup of sugar. No sugar because you're using condensed milk. I was like, I don't think I used sugar in it.
All right, so where do you want to start? I'm sorry, were you done?
Oh, graham cracker pie crust. You can make it or you can buy it.
Is that mine?
What? Yeah. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the desserts or do you want to start with the salads?
Let's start with a salad.
All right. There's 2 different dressings, so you can eat some of that and I'll eat. We'll
Yeah, I'm not going to.
I've never had a strawberry spinach salad because I do not like fruit in my salads. Fruits only belong in a fruit salad, not a salad with lettuce. But we're going to give it a try because strawberries.
What is this dressing?
Coconut lime, I think. I want to do that one first.
Oh, it's not bad.
I don't like feta either, but it's just spinach, strawberries, red onions, feta, and grilled chicken, and some pepitas for some crunch.
They're both good. I think I like that one better. What dressing was this one?
Caramelized onion.
I'll keep my fork here in case I need it.
That's actually not terrible. I like the coconut. I thought the coconut and lime would go good with the strawberries.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I'm not a huge feta fan either, so that's why I'm not. That's what you typically find with the strawberry salads.
And I talk about tasting NC all the time. If you only listen to the NC Everything podcast and you've never checked out Tasting NC, this is what it's all about, is watching me and Jamie eat stuff that she makes. Or
No,
we buy a lot of North Carolina products, but a lot of times she'll pepper in something that she does make.
I think you're right. I think I like the coconut lime better.
She's made homemade mustard, homemade hot sauce. I think I said sauce weird.
I've never made homemade mustard. I
thought you made mustard.
Mm-mm.
What else you? Oh, pimento cheese. Yep, pimento cheese. All right, where are we going from here?
You want fruit dip?
What are we dipping in it?
It's the fruit dip.
Oh, you dip the fruit in the dip?
Not that. That's from the strawberry shortcake. We're dipping those.
Get off flies.
I'm
going to use my fork.
I should have grabbed a napkin.
You always call me barbarian for using my fingers and look at you.
I don't
know if I like that. What is that?
It's Jello pudding, banana flavored. You can use any flavor.
I don't know. It actually tastes better without the strawberry. That's weird.
You can use it as a fruit dip for anything. And I don't normally use banana flavored pudding for anything. But I was making banana pudding cookies a year or so ago, and I had some in the cabinet, so it needed to be used. So, but it's good with like cheesecake. I didn't use cheesecake dip or pudding because we were having cheesecake.
Yeah, it's weird. The strawberries are good. The pudding or the dip is good.
And it could be because it's sugar-free Jello because I didn't have anything else.
Put them together, I don't think I really like it.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I like the dip just anything. We were at a party some years ago, and somebody had the fruit dip with. It's just yogurt and pudding and a little bit of milk.
Strawberry shortcake
Or strawberry cheesecake.
It's a cheesecake. I didn't grab myself a napkin either.
Oh, you can share mine.
I'm always prepared like that. And I've had cherry cheesecake. I've had a lot of different cheesecakes. I don't know if I've ever had a strawberry cheesecake. Shall I wait for you?
Oh, I was gonna eat yours because I don't want the whole piece. But
yeah, we'll share
this around here. You can have mine afterwards. I typically like plain cheesecake.
I mean, I like plain cheesecake too. The strawberries are good, but it'd be just as good without the strawberries. I'm not trying to dog strawberries after we just spent however much time talking about strawberries. The strawberries are very good, but the cheesecake is good itself.
But definitely, if you're going to use like strawberry topping for your cheesecake or banana splits or whatever, make your own. It's super easy. It was like cornstarch, sugar, and strawberries. And you only cook the strawberries long enough to thicken it, and so they kind of retain their strawberry flavor. I can't imagine what canned strawberries taste like.
I'm going to go ahead and clean my plate here.
You don't mind?
Yeah, I may have to fast forward to me eating it.
I don't usually like topping on my cheesecake, but that's pretty good.
Well, whenever you're done.
I'm done. That's sweet.
Put it there, partner.
That's the problem with no-bake cheesecake. It's so sweet.
I'm going to be forwarding through this and the audio will be cut out. Can you put those salads over there so maybe huge black flies aren't on the screen?
They may not be on the screen anyway.
Just maybe it'll draw them away.
Do you want me to set those over there too?
Yeah.
Should have waited. You say the strawberry shortcake for last?
Yeah, go ahead and grab some napkins while you're up. All right. When you sit back down, we'll finish up.
I'm going to sit this back in the fridge. I got a little bit too much milk in it. It should be slightly thicker. You know, we almost ate all of those, used all of that 2 gallons of strawberries we picked the other day.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, now.
Let's do the strawberry pudding.
All right.
I'm interested.
You only got one jar of it?
I can make more. I have more strawberries and I have more pudding. You go first. Gotta dig for the strawberries because.
No, I see one on the side. The flavor's good, but it's pudding.
You like banana pudding?
I like banana pudding. If you watch Tasting NC, I have a texture thing. I'll take a bite for good show of faith or whatever.
Am I gonna have to cut some bananas up in there for you to eat it?
If you watch Tasting NC, you know I have a texture thing, and pudding is not a texture that my brain enjoys.
Then why do you eat banana pudding?
Because banana pudding is what gives Southern boys their accent.
But it's mushy just like that.
No, I don't know why I like banana pudding. I think the Nilla wafers do something to it, I guess. But
there's Nilla wafers in here.
I didn't get none.
You did.
That's mushy. Take it away.
That's exactly what banana pudding is.
Yeah, I get all offended every time I don't like something you make.
I'm not offended, but I'm just like, if you like banana pudding, why don't you like that pudding?
I don't know.
Weirdo.
I like swimming. I don't like getting caught out in the rain. One of those things.
You've gardened in the rain. Leave my bit. That was there for a reason. Chocolate covered strawberries. Super simple. Don't spend $20 for a few in the grocery store. Make your own.
Well, I think I just ate most of the stem. I tried to get her back, but she went down the chute.
How do you eat the stem?
My finger slipped off of it.
Chocolate covered strawberries are my second favorite way to eat a strawberry. Didn't ask my first. You want to guess my first?
Me or them?
You.
Oh,
We've been together for 27 years.
your favorite way to eat strawberries?
Mm-hmm.
I would say you like eating strawberries in a strawberry field when it's 95 degrees outside and I'm doing all the picking.
You know me too well. Now, I don't eat them right out of the field. I'll take one just to see how good they are.
So she'll say, and I talked about it on the podcast, I'm sure, but she'll say, we should go strawberry picking. And she does that we stuff a lot for somebody who's not French. But we should go strawberry picking. And then she'll go up and say, yeah, I want 4 baskets of strawberries. And they'll give us 4 empty baskets.
I only got 2 this time.
And then I'm out there in North Orange County sweating and cussing and trying to fill up 4 baskets full of strawberries. And she's over there taking pictures and Facebooking about it. And
I picked a basket. You picked a basket.
You know, and of course, eating the strawberries.
I like to eat them after we pick them.
And if we take our 6-year-old with us, we're in a strawberry field, but he insists on eating the strawberries out of the basket. So as fast as I'm filling it up, he's emptying it back out instead of picking the strawberries, which is what we went up there for. Anyway, ran over. Shortcake?
Yeah.
That's
and
shortcake.
I made a biscuit shortcake. It's cornmeal and flour. And I will talk about the origin of strawberry shortcake on the podcast, maybe.
Yeah.
If you remember to ask me.
Yeah.
But everything here is homemade. Homemade biscuit, homemade macerated strawberries, and homemade whipped cream.
And I'm going to try not to end up with it all over my face. I'm going to use a fork like a civilized person. And I'll get a little bit of the whipped cream and strawberry and the biscuit too. That's good. I don't know about that, but we can't slow them out.
I think it's better with the biscuit than it is the angel food cake.
Oh, damn. Didn't even.
Monster. That's good.
That is good.
That actually is my second favorite. I think I like the strawberry chocolate covered strawberries.
All right. That is it.
That was really short and quick.
Well, it's coming behind a
Long
podcast. Yeah.
We just kind of wanted to give you some ideas of what to do with strawberries since strawberries are in season right now.
I think the options are probably endless. Jamie is very capable of stepping outside her comfort zone in the kitchen, but I think for the show, she probably fixed the stuff, the basic stuff.
We'll also make a fruit salad with fresh strawberries, pineapple, blueberries, and grapes. And I use a lime juice, honey, and chopped up fresh mint out of my garden as the drizzle or whatever.
Yeah, so the options for what you can do with strawberries are probably.
Oh, you can also make jelly, and I didn't go outside to the building and get any jelly, but I make jelly too.
So we do have strawberry jelly on hand. It's just in another place.
And that's the only kind of jelly anybody should be eating. Nobody should be eating any other kind.
Yeah, strawberry is the best. All right.
None of that grape.
Was that it?
Yep. I'm going to finish this. You finish the cheesecake, and I'm going to finish my half of the shortcake.
All right. Well, if you're here from the podcast and you're still listening, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you're here just for the tasting NC part, same thing. I hope you enjoyed it.
But you really should go and listen to the podcast about strawberries so that you can learn about them.
Yeah, and I guess podcast people, I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. And tasting NC people, I guess we'll talk to you in 3 or 4 weeks.
July. What are we going to do in July?
I don't know.
We'll figure something out.
Yep, eat firecrackers.
Go do something at the beach. Eat a North Carolina.
Yep.
ice
All right.
cream.
You got anything else?
Nope.
All right. See you.
Bye.